I scramble. We are live. It just the banner happened. Hello, guys. I'm
Dance
sending a
time.
link to Laura to make sure that she makes it today because she asked for a link. Hopefully, this link will be reusable after today. Short story long, marketing all my stuff as per usual with my reusable studio and my reusable events, and we're not going to talk about it. One email got the link. Everyone else is just DMing
Good
me.
luck finding it.
Yeah, it exists in my brain. I just went and gathered it for Laura. So we're at a minimum, we're waiting on Laura to get here. Hi, Christopher. Thank you for coming. Yay, Laura. Oh, she said, hey,
I've got
everybody.
a dog guest today.
Oh, hi, Mars. Dog guest, are we not going to talk about the evolution of children behind you? Because that's another whole series of guests.
What do you want to talk about?
I think I want to talk about Christopher in a cast. He's so cute.
There's nothing to talk. Yeah, I feel like that's the takeaway from it. Is he's just really cute
So
there.
cute.
Yeah, I'll play it in the audience, Christopher, who doesn't like considering himself a plant. He says he likes attending these lives.
Well, he can totally attend these lives. You just jump in. It says we can have up to 10 people, actually. I'm not sure if that's something you paid for or I paid for, but recently we can have 10 people, so that's exciting. Melissa, hello. Okay, so you haven't switched to creator yet, and you're here to learn as much as you can. Okay, well, I know that you're watching YouTube videos from previous emails, and I'm sorry that today is going to be more sales and marketing focused because Brittany asked for it, and Brittany's probably not even coming. I hope she does.
We'll talk about plugins. We'll talk about like the theme, but it won't be just about that. It'll be about the strategy of using it. So, that said, I mean, we can go over any questions before. Like, we kind of had a planned topic just to make sure we brought value, but
okay,
I'm
so I
always
didn't
down to answer questions.
I didn't think anyone would show up today. I'm stoked to have 3 people here, particularly when I totally messed up the link. We were supposed to have a reusable link last week that would work forevermore, and me and technology, it is what it is. I messed it up. We're here. It's fine. No, Laura, you're not. I keep changing the link. It's a moving target, but I promise to do better. If you have any questions, though, send us the questions because the point of these weekly Wednesday sessions, at least for me, is for us to show up and provide value. So I try to make a little fake agenda in my head if we don't have value. But if you have specific questions, because I know that you grabbed Baked and Branded, Melissa, feel free to ask away. Laura, if you're stuck on anything, if you have any questions, I know that you helped us build Baked and Branded from the ground up. We're here to answer those too. But my goal is to talk about marketing and sales because Brittany asked questions that I was like, oh, this is my wheelhouse. I listen to 14 podcasts a week and think entirely too hard and
buy
try
6 courses, read 12 books.
Yeah. And then I fail a lot. I'm like, oh, this person says this is the way. 2 weeks later, this is not the way, Lauren. We just wasted $100 on this and it's all fine.
We wasted all of like $10 on ManyChat before you were like, ManyChat's not the way.
No. ManyChat could be the way later. It is not the way today.
That's true. You did clarify that we would probably sign back up.
Yeah. Sometimes I X people off for good forever, but that's not one of them. I'm like, I just don't know that I have the capacity or the pipeline yet. Perhaps one day I will reach that level. Okay, so Brittany of Play Party Plan moved to creator theme, how long ago? When did she launch?
Do you want an exact date? I can get you.
No, I want the Lauren estimate.
The Lauren estimate is exactly on September 3rd.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so last year. And since then, she's been selling products via Shopify, but wanted to know about upsells and just looking to generate revenue from her blog in other ways. Not necessarily like a complaint about Google, which is totally like the cliff that I fell down whenever she was like, I'm working a lot. I want to increase revenue. But for a lot of reasons, right? So then it became a whole what makes sense from a sales and marketing perspective. I think that every blogger's greatest ROI is growing their email list. Lauren actually feels very passionate about this as well. And one time we found a bleed in an email provider's API, who is still our favorite beloved email provider. And it was quite maddening and enraging for weeks on end, but we all survived and we think it's mostly fixed.
Now I have opinions on how email collection should be done.
Fair. And that's something that is actually my weak point. So if you're in Creator Theme and you want to grow your email list, you should probably follow Lauren's right way to avoid losing subscribers. I know the two things that work well for me are ones that could definitely have you lose subscribers, which is the grow forms and Kit's pop-up.
I mean, the likelihood of actually losing subscribers is low. But since it's like, I just feel like since I've been in the blogging space for like, I don't know, 12 years or something, that once you see something happen, you're like, that's not going to happen to me again. And after I saw people lose, like some people lost hundreds of emails, I was like, nope, I will never trust this method again. So I don't trust any external provider to collect my emails. They will come in through a form plugin that saves to my database, that I will connect to external providers, but like those emails are mine. I will have a log of them. They will not disappear. They will not get lost in the ether. I have opinions now. You only have to go through that once.
Yeah. And these opinions are validated, but I'm really bad about not wanting to go through the steps.
Yeah, it's easier to go the other way. No hate, do what you can.
So I would love for you to show all of us how to make do you have to manually upload them, Kit? No. So Lauren, will you show us your ideal way to set up pretty custom blocks that would collect email subscribers? There are so many ways. There are your basic forms, there are your freebies. I know you've made custom blocks for each of those. And then we also have ways to do save this, but maybe that should be a separate combo.
Yeah. So can I screen share and kind of show, I think, at least the first part of that answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Save this recipe. Cannot find the part where you go over how to do this. That's because I have like 4 articles on it, Melissa. I have opinions on that as well. Surprise, surprise.
Putting it mildly also.
I think there's only 3 long articles. Okay, so just to give you guys a heads up, I'm working on the Baked and Branded like Feature Fest staging site that we set up just to show you what that looks like on the front end, this basic setup. And so this is one of those demo sites that just lives for 4 hours. So I am going to install Gravity Forms on this and maybe also like get rid of all these notifications because I'm me. And I'm going to show you how I use Gravity Forms specifically. So I no longer trust anyone, and I have trust issues. And so I don't want anyone collecting my emails but me because I trust me. And so, oh yeah, Gravity Forms is uploaded. So I guess I just need to activate it.
How much is Gravity Forms?
Well, there's a few different plugins you can use. We used WP Forms a lot with clients in the past, and there's some reasons I do really like WP Forms. With WP Forms, I think, yeah, it's like $50 a year. So they have this like normally $100 a year, but I think they sometimes do renewal coupons or like you can cancel and resubscribe or something. Also, $100 isn't bad for me to own all those email addresses, in my opinion. I have like a legacy license with Gravity Forms, so I'm not even sure. I think you would just need this basic license here as well. So this is $60 a year without needing any sort of coupon.
Does it have Kit?
Does it have Kit? Yes.
Scroll down
Okay.
and click more because it had all of them except for that one. I just needed to see that one. Thank you. I'm good.
Okay, so Kit is included here. Technically, WB Forms doesn't include Kit until you get to their plus. But Kit does have their own free version of integration. So Kit WP Forms WordPress.
Okay.
So this one here, this is free. So if you use the basic version, the reason I would pay for the form plugin is because with at least WP Forms, you can't get saved submissions. So you can't access all the people that have signed up for your list unless you're paying for it. So I would definitely do a paid version so you own all of that information in your database where you can export it if you ever need to, which was very important for the people who lost a bunch of subscribers. Some people had those backups and we could import them and recover them, and some people did not.
Yeah.
But if you're like just wanting this lower tier one, then you can do the free Kit plugin. That being said, the Kit plugin is what caused the issues. So take that.
I didn't name drop, but sure, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just like recommending this plugin, and then also like this is the plugin I had problems with. They fixed everything, but also like I have trust issues now. So I prefer using Gravity Forms just because I like the builder better. I like the styles, the block support, and everything in Gravity Forms better right now. I've switched between the two. I've also used Ninja Forms. Some of my clients use Fluent Forms because of someone else they work with. I think they're all equally fine as long as they collect the email address that I own it.
Cool.
So then, like, once from there, I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. Yeah, you can see I had this add-on.
And the 59 version works well. You don't need anything else for Gravity Forms. You can just get that basic Gravity Forms. I know you just showed me, but I had to look.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, this basic version has everything you need.
Thanks.
I'm looking at these pro versions. It's a bunch of additional, like, connectors you don't need.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just collecting, like, I mean, they've got, like, stuff you could do fun things with, because we do have one client that does, like, polls. Not through this plugin, though, so that's a tangent, and I'm sorry for going down it. Let's look at Gravity Forms. I'm pretty sure I already have a form set up for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in subscribe. Yeah, right. This is one of the main reasons I like this plugin the most is it lets me put the subscribe button like in line with my name and email buttons. And it's harder to do that with WP Forms. So with Gravity Forms, I can have all of these in a row. It doesn't look perfect right here, but I'm pretty sure I have it on a page. So let me see if I can find that. Where are pages? Okay, I have a subscribe page. Let's edit that. We're going to do a Gravity form. I'm going to select just the subscribe. The reason I have multiple subscribe forms, and it's not something I would super worry about, is because they often have like a unique ID. And so for them to be like accessible by screen readers and like valid HTML, they would need to be unique if you had multiple on a page. So this is the one I insert like in a post or in a page, but then the footer and sidebar, since they might be repeated with this one or with each other, I have them all separate. It's not a huge deal. This is actually the same for any forms you would submit or you would add through your, like directly from your provider. So if you were to add a form from like directly from ConvertKit, sorry, just Kit, into your sidebar and footer and your post content, like there would be some very small negative consequences that I'm a perfectionist, so I avoid. Okay, so we added our form here. Through Gravity Forms, we select to subscribe. I just turned off the title description. And then right now it looks like I have it, my default set to like this old theme, but their newest, I believe, is this orbital theme. And that gives you these styles that you can select from. There's not like a ton, but they're pretty much perfect for me, I think. And then they just like pull from my options here. We're going to make this pink. I'm picking almost random colors. And also I'm clicking fast just to prove to Hannah that I can.
She just really likes to do that to me.
I just like to tease you about how you think I click fast. Okay, so this is my form. I find this like easier to style than WP Forms, which is the only reason I use it. And I got all 3 of those in line. From here, all my entries are going to go into this and I can export them. They also like, I would connect it with Kit, so they automatically go over to Kit, so I don't have to export and import. That happens automatically. But like if something happened, they'd all exist in my database and I could export them. That just like, that matters to me now.
Makes you feel good. So can you throw a pretty gravity form into one of our custom blocks, or does Baked and Branded automatically link to gravity forms out of the box?
I believe I tried to remove instances. I can't remember because I didn't want to assume everyone has it. But yes, let me just do what you're asking. So Thanks. First of all, automatic block inserter, I'm going to use this. Hold on. I have to clear these.
These are things that I would ignore until the end of time, and this is why we work well together.
They're stressing me. I want to click on the update now. I want to click on the regenerate. Like, must run these processes.
And I'm like, don't click that. I could mess something up and Lauren could be real upset with me. It's never happened. I just have a weird fear.
Okay, so actually let me copy this form because it'll have my pretty styles with it already. Copy, paste. And then, oh, I need to tell this. I want you to appear before the post area on all posts. I'm going to keep it really simple just so we can see it super easily. Close this one. And then we're going to open any post. And at the top of the post, we have our new subscribe. Magical. What was it supposed to do next? Is that it?
No, I wanted one of your style blocks.
Oh, you want it in a pretty block.
Yeah, it's not real.
Oh, that's easy. I'm going to come in here into my patterns, and then maybe I'll just look through what I have. I don't remember anymore.
Well, you better pick one called like sidebar if you're going to automatically insert in post, or it's going to look whack. Ask me how I know.
Okay, true. Let me hop over to this category.
Sorry.
Content email.
Oh, yeah, you have like multiple cute ones right there. Yeah.
Okay, so this one has a form, but also is not loading that form. Oh, look, it doesn't want to load either of them now. Let's delete that one. Keep this one. Click save. Hope for the best. This is what happens when you use like a demo site on a live call. It's a little slower than you want. Okay, look, it looks pretty. Do you want more than this?
Maybe.
Tell me what you want. Be specific.
Now. I want one everywhere. So my thought was that, okay, I went through all the scenarios that I'm capable of doing, right? Which is automatic block inserter, stick it everywhere, but it's going to have to use sidebar. And then global header and footer, where can you stick it to make it convert a lot? Because then, of course, it's going to be site wide. Probably the footer, not the header, but, you know, those are the 3 places that are like quick wins for return on investment, trying to maximize our conversions. I think those are the only locations.
Okay, so you want me to demo additional places where you could quickly pop in email subscribe so that we can build that list, because that's the audience you own.
Yep.
Everything else you're renting. Got it. Okay, so we've got one. We put it at the top of the post. I actually want it to be, hold on. What does this post have in it? I want it to be before the recipe card. Oh, wait. Look, there is one before the recipe card. I'm going to make it after the recipe card. So I'm going to change this to be a little more specific. Instead of being at the top of every post, we're going to put it after the recipe card. Save that. I'm just going to refresh to make sure it shows up there. Perfect. I like where that one's at. I need more on my site, though. This is not enough.
Oh,
Edit
gosh.
site.
Christopher, you're not sharing your screen. I've definitely been watching the tiny box. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Christopher.
How do I even get it back? There we go. KK. Let's go back a step. Sorry, guys.
I'm so sorry. I've had this
now I don't even know
day.
where it was. Okay, sorry. What I did was I came in here with automatic block consider because we wanted it to be more purposeful now, not just for something pretty, and changed it from the post area before to a block after, and then I typed in recipe and moved it to after the recipe. So I click save there, refresh the page to confirm that it was down here, which it is. And then I clicked on edit site and I opened that in a new tab. So this tab here is what I'll switch to, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bar in the header. I'm going to put something in the sidebar. And then if I scroll down to the bottom, technically we have one in the footer, but let me show you that. So if you guys remember from when we were working on creating this theme, we have like purple areas that are template parts. They're basically synced patterns. They show up all across your site. So if it's in purple, if you change it here, it'll be changed in other places as well. And at the top of my posts, I have a global header and a global header after. The only reason those are separated is because on some pages, I don't want this global header after. I want the simplest header possible. And so let's say that after this, I want to have a subscribe bar that's at the top of all of my posts. Which actually, let's put it at the very top of our site. So above my site header is where I'm going to put a sticky, like not a sticky bar, but I will put a email subscribe. If I pinch my fingers, you guys will understand what I'm picturing, right?
I had no clue where you were going, and sometimes I get really excited when you're like about to do something fun and new.
I don't have one that's like already meant to be up here. I have a button bar somewhere, which is meant to like link to a subscribe page. But if I want the actual form at the top of the page,
heading. Isn't your button
bar?
I
only have a heading one.
Actually, it might be possible. Custom page 2 or 3.
Let me look though. Load.
Boopy doop.
There's some like this is kind of what I want it to look like, thin like this, but with an email subscribe. Okay, so I do have a button bar. This is actually like from the base theme, so it's not styled for what we want, but I don't really think it matters. I'm going to drag that up to the top. Sorry, we want this to be a gravity form. And then can I copy paste that other one? Oh, good, I still have.
Fast clicks, very fast.
I know.
Are you using the textural keyboard today?
No. Can you hear it?
It's just so aggressive, Lauren. One time she called my typing aggressive, and I will never get over it.
Oh, wait. So you can hear my typing? Maybe
I'm positive mine is louder.
AirPods aren't working.
I think it's more of knowing.
I think this isn't going to be aligned because of that padding, so I might remove. I only need it in the header. You could save these since we haven't actually made changes, but remember that saves changes to everything. So just to be safe, I'm only going to save what I actually need to change. Okay, so this has extra space on the bottom. Gravity Forms has like some built-in styles. that I didn't want to mess up, so I haven't changed them for that reason. What I think I would do is like I would change how this looks just to not have to change those styles. Personally, the styles could be worth doing, but every time you do custom styles, especially for a plugin, if they make a change, you have to adapt to that change. And to avoid having to adapt to that change with more custom code, I try and just not custom style plugins anymore, which does go against my nature. But we're going to see what we can do. Mm-hmm. So instead, I'm going to decrease the padding on the bottom of this area. See how that looks. I'm not going to make this a row. It's just going to keep it as a group, and they'll be stacked on top of each other. I know you don't like it, but the alternative is I would put something inside of the form that says subscribe rather than having a paragraph.
So I would just remove the subscribe bit and make the button say subscribe.
Subscribe, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, there's probably a more nuanced way depending on your site and niche to make it like fun and pretty, but like that gets the point across and it gets the job done.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, I need to do this on creator theme and small plugins and Once Coupled and my yoga site and the party site. And now my whole day will be spent with Gravity Forms. Thank you, Laura.
Okay, well, we made this a little bit smaller. The spacing appears to be even though we personally know that we had to change the padding. I don't like that. That's going to stress me out. We're going to have to fix that separately. We might have to do some custom styles for Gravity Forms because that was just not okay. To block that out of my head so I can focus.
Yeah, it's not haunting me like it's haunting you, but I'm so sorry for your loss. That padding just really did it for you.
Yeah, that's the tipping point for me, for sure.
Sorry.
Okay, we've at least got something in our header. We're going to change this button in a little bit. Inside of our sidebar, I mean, from here, it's pretty much the same everywhere else. We're going to be editing purple, like, template parts, and it's going to make the change site-wide. So from here, like, I probably would just put the form. Wait, I'm going to copy paste the form again.
Well, there's a click subscribe to emails right there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess we don't know that goes to the right place. Profound Badger. Wow. I love those names.
Yeah, like there's still this padding there that haunts me. Well, here's the sidebar one. Remember that we have different forms for different locations. Technically, if we were doing something site-wide in the header, I would probably want to create another one that's subscribe header, but it's not a big deal. And then we do already have one here in the footer.
Nice.
And it says subscribe footer. So like now we would have them. Go ahead.
I'm spinning off into a completely different topic. Do you still
Can I change? Can I close out my tabs and change the subscribe button?
Yep.
Okay. I know this is a temporary site, but okay, button text. Subscribe. And remember, since you have multiple forms, if you want those to also say subscribe, you would have to open up and edit each of those.
Mine's a yoga site, so it's going to say namaste. What do food blogs say? Dive in, dig in. Let's eat.
I mean, all that stuff is clever, but like it potentially confuses people because it's not like just direct. I would just do subscribe.
That's fair.
Hey, should I talk about save this recipe, or do you not want to go down that rabbit hole for the last 30 minutes?
You need to do save this recipe, but we need to condense it because this is sales and I still need affiliates somewhere in here, which I think could be handled pretty quickly with Query Loop and post type product links. So let's answer Melissa's question about save this, but.
And then you still want to make sure I leave time.
We can't discuss the evolution of all save this or have a full thesis today.
But that's so interesting.
I am happy to send Melissa all of the links.
Okay, Melissa, here's the short, like what you need to know. Inside of the form. Oh, well, you could still use Grow. But it sends the emails to junk and it makes me so mad. Okay, wait.
I
this
think that's
is different
about email
probably.
subscribe, but I'm saying for Save This, if she's using Grow, we could lean into how Grow uses Save This, makes that an option, and then also Kit. Those would be the two over here somewhere.
Or I don't know what you're asking.
But
I feel like Melissa's asking about how to not get her emails to spam.
You are welcome to answer that. Okay, she'd rather not use Grow. Hey, Grow. So we're not creating Save This via Grow. And then how can you make it not go to junk within Grow?
I don't know because I'm not sure exactly how Grow works.
Yeah.
But you, depending on who your host is, Melissa, like if you're sending it through WordPress, your host can help you get it not go to junk theoretically by helping you set up like records that tell email platforms that you are legit. But there is going to be a limit to like your domain will have some level of authority. Hannah's really struggling. She's like, please kill me now. I'm sure that's doing more with the email providers. I'm with WP Opt. So I don't know what level of email support Charles provides. Let me address two things. Okay, so first of all, if you want to send your own Save This link emails that are customizable, then what I would recommend is probably to use a form plugin like this. It gives you complete ownership of those emails. And you can also customize the notification that goes to your users to include pretty much whatever you want, including parts of the recipe if you want that. So here where it has notifications, right now it only sends an admin notification, but we can add a new one. And then we can send this to people who submit their email address with whatever like content we want. And so to avoid going through this too in depth, what form plugins have are merge fields, or I think they're called like quick tags, or they have different names for them. But basically they're a way for you to insert dynamic content. And so what you could do is send in your message the page title, and then that can be linked to, I would need the page URL. So this, I don't know if it's entry or embed. Honestly, I think they're the same. I love that it's not letting me click that right now. Embed URL. So something like this. You'd have to fill everything out, and you would obviously customize this email more, but this will let you send your own notification. And then to get the subscribers to go to Kit, you would set up your integration, which I don't know. Oh, I don't have the Kit installed right now, but you would go through the steps to integrate Gravity Forms or whatever form plugin you're using with Kit. So they would automatically get sent to Kit. Kit doesn't have to do any of the email sending for you. There's no extra setup over there. The notification is just coming from your WordPress install. Now, one of the things that will help you have better deliverability with your emails from your WordPress install is to use a plugin like SMTP, WP SMTP. Pretty much any of these, but I tend to just use this first one. And this, I don't know if Charles sets these up on behalf of his clients, but this like authenticates sending. So it can be done through your domain or through Gmail, and it'll give you like better authority score by the receiving platforms. So this would be the second like step or big piece I'd recommend looking into. If you still are having deliverability problems, it gets more complicated and probably not worth going into right here. But I would say those would be the two things to look at.
That was so succinct and lovely. Mainly like the here's how you can do this without external providers, without getting distracted. Because I know we were like, ooh, shiny object syndrome. Like Grow has an option, and Hubbub has an option, and Kit has an option. But guess what? They're all still freaking sending the link, and you may or may not own your email addresses. So doing it through Gravity Forms, I feel like, is the best way to accomplish both. Thanks. I haven't even heard this updated Lauren's version. It was so nice and condensed.
What are you talking about? That's what my articles say to do this.
Your articles say so much.
You haven't read my 6 articles on the subject, Hannah? Wow.
I scanned them and died inside.
So did everyone who read them, I'm sure.
You're just so technical. Oh, here we go. I thought she had it, and then she was like, nope.
Thought I would mention because Hannah specified that no, of course, this is the one I want right here. This screenshot. Can I open that? Most of all the other platforms don't send any part of your recipe. They just send a link, which I guess works because everyone's doing it, but I have opinions. Yes. And obviously it's being used. And I will
perspective you care.
I will just share that if you want to send all or part of your recipe, there is a plugin that helps you do that by giving you one of these smart tags, the email merge tags, smart tags, whatever, that you can email to your readers if you actually want to send them the recipe. All right, I'll stop there.
If you want to do what you're saying you'll do and not be like the other 99.8% of food bloggers out there claiming they're doing it, then take Lauren's very literal plugin because it will delight your users.
I am a very literal person. And in my humble opinion, if you say you're sending the recipe, send the recipe.
And that's essentially what her 6 articles say.
They tell you how.
You can use this code. You can do this. You can do that. You can do this. Just copy and paste this.
All right, my little comic. Let's move on.
Oh, we're done with this now?
Now we're done.
Melissa, do you feel as though we've answered your question?
She said this is much easier than I thought it would be.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm really happy with where we've gone, at least with like owning our email list, but I don't feel like that's necessarily sales. So I would love to do everything in 20 minutes or less. I'm going to list topics and I'm going to let you choose which one you think is more impactful to spend our time on. Can I do that?
When you say you, are you talking about Melissa and Laura? Or are you talking about Lauren?
I was going to take literal Lauren for a ride because you know what you know. We can always get on the other things later. So my thoughts on sales. Well, first there's Brittany's theory from last week that we need to promote more upsells. And that's going to be through external providers, primarily like Shopify, Kit, ClickFunnels, but also you could do it with affiliate products, right? We could go into post type product links and talk about affiliate sales using post type product links. I think that would be a good use of our time. I am personally not yielding a lot of success. Therefore, I feel like it's dead in the water. But I think it's maybe a me thing, right? Like it's probably something formatting wise that I've done wrong. Affiliates have been a big deal for forever. And then my other thought is that the best way to sell on any blog and to increase your revenue is to run ads to a compelling landing page and then start with micro selling. So instead of giving away these free lead magnets, you have someone who buys in a small amount and then later they get into like your bigger ebook or course or whatever. So you've got like a $3, what was it? Our Fat Bomb mini ebook that I was recently working on. And then later you go into like your meal prep Big Papa $49 ebook. So just all the different ways that food bloggers can work that. Would you rather try to build a compelling landing page today? Or would you rather review post type product links and affiliates, and we could do an awesome sales landing page like next week? Like a landing page is so loaded. There's so much content in it, and we need to hyper focus right now.
I mean, I kind of feel like you really have done a lot of like learning about micro sales and running ads and everything like that. I feel like that's kind of like more in line with what you wanted to originally talk about. And I can kind of just like let you lead that and build a page in the background. Okay. Or you want to go into the specifics of like optimizing the page, which would be too much.
I think if we do it, I would like to go through like what makes a good page. And also, I don't know that I am qualified yet, but I'll get there. Let me keep trying and failing a few more weeks. At some point, I'm going to feel really confident that something is sticking. But right now, I don't feel that way. So in that case, I guess what's a good product block? What's one good high converting product block that we have on Baked and Branded to use on any poster page? So would it be with sidebar or would it be in the sidebar?
No.
And what would be the way to promote a product site-wide? Because right now I'm doing automatic block, but I'm using it wrong.
In terms of location, the best place that I have seen in like what we've looked at, the sites that we've done audits on and everything, has been in the post content. And it's usually one of the like plainer blocks. But just going back to just location, since most mobile users, it's basically presenting it when they need it. So instead of just like having it there, instead of throwing it here, products that are in the sidebar or like shop my site, well, that can be interesting for very specific brands. Like usually what works best for the people that we've looked at have been like when you're talking about something to then link to it. We've had like, there's obviously points where there's like a specialized, well, let me screen share and say this, of course. So if we go back to pages, I think there's a point where you either want to say like, this is the one product or here are the products. And so let me show you a glimpse at like what those would look like. If I'm just doing one product, probably gonna be something like this call out here. Let me do with sidebar. This would be on a post page.
Okay.
Well, this is going to be one, but it's not the one I'm talking about right now. The one, this is probably kind of closest.
Okay.
So let me change this to be with sidebar. Save draft. We're going to open this in a new tab just so we can see them. Okay, I think there's a time and place for each of these. This I would change. I would remove this content here and I would just have like my recommended blender, a short paragraph about why, and then a button that says like, check it out on Amazon or whatever like that. And then this would be for like any post that uses a highly specific appliance or something like that. So like all of my smoothie recipes could have this. And because it's like going to be relevant to an entire smoothie recipe, it'd be a really good option for using with automatic block inserter because it doesn't really matter where in the post I insert it. I think there are cases where like, maybe if it's a product like when Instapot first came out and people weren't really sure what it was, where you would probably put it in a very specific place and you would be like, here's what Instapot is. here's how you're going to use it. Here's what I use. Like, this is why you want this specific one. This specific one being like, you want this size if you have a family of 4, or if you plan on making this type of dish, right? Because that more specific recommendation is going to go further with people that are reading that type of article. Okay, so that's when I think that like a single one like this really makes the most sense. This is what I see used quite often because we kind of have like a little bit more variety here. This one I think works for like the more generic or like a basic entry-level audience or something like that, because sorry, I just saw Laura's email and I like really want to look at it. Yeah, right. So this was like, this will be usually like just generic stuff that you don't need to explain. You know, I don't need to explain why I like this relatively inexpensive silverware set. Like, this is just the one I use. This is the thermometer I chose. Versus like, if you're going to spend $500 on a blender, this is the one I think you should get, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a place for both of these, but this one I think is usually going to be the more effective one because there's just one thing to focus on and you can use the text to
sell it.
Yeah, like demonstrate your knowledge of this product. Mm-hmm. So this is the one that's like, I think simpler and does better in the test. Honestly, regular paragraphs that have been like, here are the products I use without like, just like with a list here, have also like, I've seen a good click count on those links.
Okay, cool.
So sometimes I feel like maybe because this is visual, like some people are scrolling past it, like they block it out of their mind, but if they're actually reading, then they're going through this list and clicking on this. I don't know that that's actually like what happens. I've just seen evidence that text links get a good number of clicks.
That's smart and probably makes sense because a lot of these people, you know, they're already looking at a lot of ads and they're trying to block out ads. And because this is visual, maybe they're comparing it to ads. Not everyone has ad blockers on their browser.
Yeah. Okay. My development browser needs it.
Yes, it does.
How am I supposed to work?
Anytime I'm trying to get screenshots for marketing purposes, I'm like Xing out of those ads, losing my mind. And I'm like, you know, at some point I should be smart like Lauren and Christopher, but I've yet to do it. It's been many years. Will you show the back end of post type product links? I know that we've done it before, but that would make me really feel like we've come full circle. So explaining the back end of recommended products and that loop using post type product links, I think could bring us full circle for this discussion. And then we are going to have a future discussion about microselling, landing pages, and maybe like email sequences with upsells, because I think that that is like the best way to level up.
Okay. So first of all, this block right here, this uses a loop. So it has a query loop. And then all of these like recommendations are pulled in automatically. And it looks like this is just pulling in the latest products, but I can actually say like exactly what products are being recommended for this. I don't know what products we have. Do we have a blender? Look at that, we do. Okay. So like these are being pulled in. The image, the title, the link to the affiliate automatically just by me selecting it in here. I definitely like this type of setup for managing affiliate links because it's really easy to update like a product across all of your sites. So let's say that this, let's say this Ninja Fit personal blender went out of stock at Amazon, but I get a lot of people clicking on it and asking, like emailing me and being like, it's out of stock. What do I do? I could update this across my site. What's that?
You buy a Vitamix, girl.
Yeah, exactly. But I could update this across my site and I could say like, here's what I used, and then change out the blender to something that is in stock or like the newer model of it or something like that. So I really like using query loops like this because it like automatically pulls in this information. I don't have to update it everywhere. And if I update it in one place, like everything's gonna go along with that. So this block, super helpful. Actually filling in these links, like how do those products get added? We do that with a plugin. Let me show you what that one's called. Product link. So post type product link. This plugin just adds the ability for you to create this post type so that we can query it. And then once you have this plugin, you'll have a new section called shop. And just like when you add a post, now you can add like an item. And we can essentially make like a fake little shop, like a mini WooCommerce type thing out of it. We can't sell anything on our site because it doesn't have that sort of functionality, but we have built in this product link where you can link to your affiliate location. And so this works with Amazon, but it works with any external link. So if you're using like, I want to call it reward style, but I think it's just called LTK now. If you have Shopify, you could link to the actual Shopify like checkout page, but you could have the product listing on your site. Any of the like this could go to a Stripe checkout link. It could use SendOwl, or your Kit allows you to sell products, so you could link it to Kit. Anything like that, where it's easy for you to manage on your site, but then like can link out literally anywhere.
Yeah.
And so when you add a product. Sorry, you want me to stop here?
No, you're doing good. Keep going.
I just wanted to show that like you'll give it a title, you'll give it a featured image, and you'll give it a link.
So Brittany's specific question last
your product link.
She was using Shopify. We could just link her product in Shopify, and then we could create query loops with her related products to have upsells and use that specific query loop I was talking about earlier, where there's like a big square and 3 little ones. And we could have like, here's the main product that works best with this Easter post, but then here are 3 related upsells or similar bundles that we could place within this query loop. And now it dynamically goes to all Easter posts. I owe Brittany an email since she didn't come today. I will email her about this. That's cool. I wasn't sure if post type product links was limited in any way by certain platforms. Like I know Shopify can get kind of touchy on the back end, but I broke up with them, years ago. So
yeah, it doesn't have like this plugin. The product link post type doesn't allow you to go to an individual page. So like I wouldn't be able to create a sales page for the Cast Iron Grill Press, and so that might be relevant to Brittany. However, you could create a sales, like a regular page, and then have this linked on it. This is meant to always link out to an external site. So this individual page, like if I tried to open it, it's going to take me back to my shop because the individual page like doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. And you can see, if you're looking at the bottom left of my screen, whenever I hover over any of these products, it's going to take me directly to that affiliate link. Mm-hmm. So if she wants an actual sales page, she would probably want to like come in here and just add a new page.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the query loop and cross sells and stuff like that, you could use this.
Yeah. That's where I'm thinking it would be most powerful. So just setting it all up within post type product links and creating query loops for upsells. Okay. Well, now I have a significantly longer to-do list because of Lauren's expertise. And we covered half of my agenda, which means that we have things to talk about for next week, unless you guys have questions next week.
Can I go over something that Laura emailed?
Yes.
Let me see if I can do it. Okay. So Laura, I saw your email. The picture is really small, but I think what you were asking about is trying to update Creator and it's saying that you don't have a license. If that's happening to you, underneath Appearance, there should be Creator Settings. Don't mind me just waiting on this to load. Basically, when this page loads, it should be asking me for a license. And then I can put in my license here. I would really love to be able to show that
the
to you.
license in Freemius.
Yes, the license is in your account in Freemius. Okay, this really doesn't want to show us the creator settings page. Okay, creator settings not correct. This account page. Here you can see like this information. And then mine says like change license because it already has one. But if I didn't, like if I deactivate this, then I should be able to say activate pro plan.
Cool.
Let me see. If I disconnect it, we'll remove it, disconnect it. I bet this is what she's saying. She doesn't have that account page.
Upgrade.
Well, Laura, we are probably going to have to email support.
Go to themes.
Themes. See, what I think usually happens is when you first activate it, it has like a little bar up here. And it says to like opt in, and that's where it gets you to put in your license. But if for some reason that's like been closed, I think I know a couple workarounds, but I'm also just going to email Freemius and see like, surely this is a problem.
Yeah.
And shouldn't happen. Okay, so Laura, you're probably running into this. We don't know the answer, but we're going to get you one. That said, since there are updates, if you're wanting to add those updates to your site, you can come into themes, add new theme, upload the new file, and then it'll ask if you want to replace the current one with a new one. And you can click yes, because it's going to be the same theme. You won't lose any of your customizations or anything like that. Yeah, it'll just be like running the update that just couldn't happen automatically. However, we will work with support and figure out why there's no way to put in a license.
Yeah, that's weird. If you re-trigger it that way with like a manual upload, do you think it will likely ask for the license key again in that pop-up bar?
No, because it won't. I don't think it'll recognize that it's a new anything. Because like I said, it's just an upgrade.
Bummer. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Laura. That's a me problem. That's something I would totally create. As one of my favorite tech people for when I break a computer says, you got it in a bad way, and I don't know how you got it there. And then I'm like, I'm so sorry. Lately, it's just been coffee for both of us, though. Coffee and dogs. That's been the death of computers.
Yes.
That at least
I have had 2 computer deaths in the past year, huh?
Yeah. More than years past, for sure.
And yeah, the biggest blemish on my computer right now is due to sending it in for repair. I'm salty.
You're fine. Okay. Yeah, we will submit that to support and get something going for you, Laura. Sorry about that. All right. Well, it was a lovely, not super sales focused, but definitely Lauren has so much expertise and knowledge as per usual, which I knew would happen.
I gave you an opportunity to talk about your sales stuff, and you were like, go into product stuff.
Yeah.
You know how I ramble about tech things.
It's exciting, though. It's exciting and helpful. So that was good. Like, I have products that I need to place into post-type product links because lately I've only been using Amazon, and I definitely have some kit ones that would work well for everyone across all of our sites. Yes. Thank you, Melissa. All right, guys.
Bring us questions if you have any next week.
Please. Otherwise, Hannah's going to ramble about sales because Lauren's going to let her, she says. We'll see. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your evening.